you off or something.
Oh no.
All right.
Were you guys partners for the project?
We were. And we did obesity as well.
Well, look at that.
Yep. So obesity in children, basically, you guys summed it up really nicely. I'll read you what I put on. Adopting a healthy lifestyle, which includes eating healthy food, exercising, and resting our minds and our bodies. Meditation is key. I think one thing that we put on, that I put in my summary, is that a lot of the foods, it's easy to say to be resilient and grow your own garden and all of that stuff, but with genetically modified seeds and all the impurities that come from the rain because of pollution and all of those things, it's not as easy to do that as in 50 to 100 years ago when people were growing their food. I'd say 90% of their food for their family was grown or raised organically, but organic is really not as organic as it once was. So that was one thing that I also found on my research. So I chose to do that as my research too, so I've got all kinds of information here. One thing that I found to be interesting is the World Health Organization states overweight and obesity are defined as abnormal and excessive fat. Well, no, that's not what I wanted to say. Sorry. That is obvious. I found, if you go to the World Health Organization, they have 10 facts on obesity that are pretty interesting. And I'm recording this, so I'm holding that up as we do this. Let me get to...
Oh, now it's...
So there's 1.4 billion adults who are overweight, and over 500 million, let's see, I can't read and think and do all this at the same time. And I'm just going to read it so you guys can hear what the statistic is. In 2008, more than 1.4 billion adults were overweight, and more than 500 million are obese. At least 2.8 million people each year die as a result of being overweight or obese. The prevalence of obesity has nearly doubled between 1980 and 2008. Once associated with high-income countries, obesity is now also prevalent in low-income and middle-income countries. And the saddest part of this is globally 42 million preschool children were overweight in 2013. That's a lot of little kids that are obese. And that a lot of that is because of fast food and the horrible... I mean, it's almost cheaper to eat horribly than it is to eat well.
Yeah. I know. I don't think that's right. I think it's weird.
What's that?
I said I don't think that's right of our society, because I think it's backwards, where it should be like the unhealthy food should be more expensive than...
I agree.
It's like...
I know. That's the thing. I'm like trying to eat healthy, but I'm a poor college student, so
right.
It's like it's cheaper just to buy fast food, or well, not in the long run, but like things at the store, like Top Ramen and stuff, instead of buying the actual healthy foods. Like fruits and vegetables can be so expensive.
Right. That's so true.
Totally. Yeah, like my husband would be like, we even do that too. It's easier to eat out than it is to like go and like buy a whole bunch of...
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
I was like looking on Pinterest boards for healthy recipes, and everything is so expensive by the time you buy it all. I'm like, this is not worth it.
Well, it's true. And it's difficult as a college student to put a garden in. It's not like you can put a garden in on your patio. You can do a few things, but you can't really sustain your whole existence with a small patio garden. So anyway, and of course the last part of that is physical activity is how everyone should combat overweight or obesity problems. So let me see if there's something else. No, I think that's all I had.
Are we talking about what we researched for this week?
Yep. So we're supposed to kind of It says briefly describe your physical or cognitive domain intervention assignment from lessons 11 and 12. If your partner from that assignment is present, you can do it together, which you guys kind of
both did. Yeah.
Right. And then describe your social emotional domain intervention that you've researched this week. So mine was the same thing. I didn't choose anything different. Sorry.
I guess you just really like the obesity topic.
I do, because I am. And it, how sad, right? But obviously you guys can see what I look like. Me and my, as a mom.
I just thought that you maybe were so interested in it by the information you got, so you just really liked it. Yeah.
Well, I'm interested in it because I can tell you why I'm interested in it. Okay, so in 2004, I was diagnosed with cancer, a childhood form of cancer. And so I got through that with no problem. Well, okay, so, I mean, it was tough. Then I ended up with breast cancer a few years after that, and I've had recurrences of this cancer kind of back and forth for about 10 years. And I'm lucky to be alive. But I can't shake the weight. I can't do it. I can walk, and I walk all day long with the kids at my school. You know, I walk them to and from their classes, and we do all kinds of physical activity. I just have poor habits, like Diet Coke is that's my drug of choice. And that's really what I've realized it is. And so I'm researching it. It's a very selfish thing. I drink a lot of water, but not near as much. And so I've watched over the past, well, I think now 3 weeks, I feel better when I drink more water, but can I get my brain to know that? No, because I like the Diet Coke taste. Isn't that awful? So I know what...
No, I keep interrupting people. I was a Diet Coke addict. My major is actually exercise physiology, so like I'm into training people and stuff. And so for one of our clients, we kind of wanted him to lose like 10 pounds this semester. Mm-hmm. And so we cut soda out for him, so I did it with him. And I actually lost 5 pounds in a month just cutting out Diet Coke. And we... have you ever heard of like the Crystal Light packets that you
Yes,
put in water
but then it has... So,
Yeah.
Kendall, I'll tell you, that stuff is amazing, and there's very little calories, but the aspartame in that is what causes cancer. And so...
That's what helped get off the caffeine withdrawals, though.
Well, and I understand that. But that is my problem. Every time I go off of caffeine and use something like that, it's the aspartame that causes my cancer to come back. I'm positive. Now, the doctors won't tell me that, but I'm positive. Yeah. Because I've gone back and forth. And I can't drink green tea because I'm Mormon. And I can't, you know what I mean? So I just need to learn to love water. And I haven't learned that yet. Anyway, so back to our assignment. Sorry on the tangent. But that's why I wanted to research obesity. Because it's really a personal issue in my mind, and it's sad.
Yeah.
And I don't want my boys to become, my 23-year-old and my 17-year-old, I don't want them to become obese because their mom did. And that statistic rings in my head constantly, that children are 8 times more likely to be obese if their